go. Let's start.
ข้าวหอม
1, 2, 3. Good afternoon, teacher.
Good afternoon, students. Welcome back. Hope you are doing well.
Good afternoon student how are you
I'm fine. I'm good. I'm fine.
okay huh hungry
Hungry.
okay I want to know who joined our class are you ready yes okay the first 10 absent okay next Aidin
Present.
thank you Asia absent okay Hugo
Present.
thank you Ichi absent right okay Julong absent okay Palikan can you hear me okay absent okay Phupa
Present.
thank you nephew absent okay เจ้านาย absent okay เป๊ะ absent okay ก้อย
Present.
thank you boom absent okay grape
Present.
thank you Yok
Present.
thank you Úc Yết
Present.
thank you turn on your camera please ฟ้าใส
Present.
thank you ไข่มุกabsent
Present.
okay present thank you บัว
Present.
thank you จีน
Present.
thank you ใบบัว
Present.
thank you ข้าวหอม
Present.
thank you โบนัส
Present.
thank you ข้าวหอม
Present.
thank you หุยเล้ง
Present.
thank you ใบตอง ใบ
Present.
ตอง thank you idea
Present.
thank you the last ข้าวกล้อง
Present.
thank you okay thank you student
Yay.
okay
Okay, so today we are busy with mathematics and we are still busy with triangles. Just quickly again, all the rules. Always turn on your camera. Please speak as much as possible when you get the opportunity to, and also ask a lot of questions. If you are unsure, please ask. I will always do my best to answer your questions. Okay. So triangles, we looked at a couple of things in triangles so far. It's quite a long unit. So let's quickly just refresh on what we did last week. So last week we looked at the perimeter of a triangle. Who can tell me what is the perimeter? How do we calculate it? Anyone tell me?
The addition of all sides.
Excellent answer there. Excellent answer. Well done. It's the addition of all sides is known as the perimeter. The perimeter is the total distance of all sides together. Okay. We also looked at the Pythagorean theorem, which is a combination of right triangles and calculating a missing side. So one thing we have to have is a right triangle like the one in the picture, plus we also need to calculate a side. And then we can use the formula a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And then in our final answer, we'll have to use the square root of all of them again to get the final answer. Okay. So the square root, the easiest ones we have is up to 1 to 12 because they are also on our mathematical table. So 1 will be 1, 2 will be 4, 3 will be 9, 4 will be 16, 5 will be 25. You can do up to 10 here, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Just to give you an idea of the square roots again. 6 will equal 36, 7 is 49, 8 times 8 is 56, 9 times 9 is 81, 10 times 10 is 100. So usually if I ask you a question with the Pythagorean theorem, I'll always make sure that the answer is one of these 10 to 12. We can do up to 12 or 15 square roots so that it's not too difficult to calculate. Okay. But today we're going to look at not the perimeter anymore, but the inside of the triangle, the area of the triangle. Now, the area of the triangle has two ways of calculating it. One, we have a relationship between triangles and the equiangular quadrilaterals. Plus, we can also use the formula, which is the area equals a half times height times base. Okay, so the first one is the relationship between the triangles and the equiangular quadrilaterals. This is a absolute horrible English word. I'm not going to teach you how to pronounce it because you probably will never use it in your English language ever. You just need to know what does it mean. Now, a quadrilateral is a shape with four sides, like a square or a rectangle is a quadrilateral. It has four sides. Quad meaning four. So the equiangular quadrilaterals, they have a shape and an area inside them. So for instance, the one on the bottom left here, we have these blocks. Now these blocks represent one square unit. One square unit. So if you want to calculate the area, what would we do? Firstly, we will calculate the total block. All the small rectangles in the whole block, we will count them all. Now, an easier way to do this is you count the top row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you count the bottom row or the one on the side, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have 6 and 4, and if you multiply them together, we get the total amount of blocks inside. So 6 times 4 equals how much? 6 times 4?
24.
24, excellent. So here is 24 square units in this area block, in this little quadrilateral. So if you want to calculate the area of a triangle, it's always half of the equiangular quadrilaterals. Equiangular quadrilaterals. It's always half of it. Very important to remember. It's always half. Why? Because the area, you can see if you cut this piece into two, it makes two exactly the same triangles. Meaning that triangle is actually, the quadrilateral is actually two triangles with the same size. So if we have 24, we can take 24, divide by 2, and then we get how much? How much 24 divided by 2? Equals 12. Equals 12. 24 divided by 2 equals 12. So the area of triangle VNS, the area of triangle VNS equals 12 square units. 12 square units. So this one is the most easiest one. This one is very simple because if you look at the examples we'll look at now, I'll show you first the one examples. Is when you get a question like this, they will already add the block for you and draw the triangle inside the block. So you just have to count all the blocks together and divide by 2. Divide by 2. Let's do one example of this before we look at the other type of way to calculate the area. So at the bottom they have an example here for us. They say find the area of triangle GLT. So the most important thing first, draw your triangle GLT. So it shows us our triangle there, and it says each block here gives us 1 square unit. 1 square unit. So let's look at the what they've done. They say work the whole quadrilateral of GBLT. Let me draw that in a different color. So the quadrilateral GBLT is this block here, the bigger one. And the area is 12 units. Why do they say 12 units? Because you can count 1, 2, 3 times 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 times 4 equals 12. So they say 12 square units. It's actually 3 times 4. With the 4 being here and the 3 being here. And then we just multiply them to get the total area of the quadrilateral. So once we have the total area and we have our triangle, it's very simple. We take the 12 units that we have and we divide it by 2. We divide by 2, or you can divide like this, by 2. So 12 divided by 2 equals? What is 6? And what is the answer here? Therefore, the area of triangle GLT has an area of 6 square units. 6 square units. Well, this is a very basic way of calculating the area, but the one problem we have with this is you don't always get the block like this. They don't always give you the block. Sometimes all they give you, which we will see in the next examples, they will just give you, they say this is 3, this is 4, calculate the area of the triangle. Then you have to calculate the area, and now we're going to look at how can we do that. How do we calculate the area if they do not give us the guideline block or guideline quadrilateral to use? So on the right hand side, the first side we looked at, on the right hand side we say we have to use the formula, meaning a half times the height times the base. Half times height times base. So how do we calculate it? The first thing we need to do is, do you guys remember how to calculate the height of a triangle? One very important step. The height of the triangle, as we discussed earlier in the month, is the base. From the base, you draw a line, or from the apex, sorry, you draw a line perpendicular to the base, meaning it has to reach 90 degrees at the base. And then we measure that with our trusty old ruler. So the height is measured by drawing a line perpendicular from the apex to the base, so that when it gets to the base, it has a 90-degree angle. How can we test that? By using our protractor to measure the angle of the base. And that's how we will calculate the height. So the height we calculated in this example already. The height is 4 centimeters. The base, which is in this instance BC, has a length of 7 centimeters. So if we use our formula and we write down the question as per the formula, let's have a look. So I'm going to say 0.5 for the half, just so that I can easily show you. I'll do it like this. Times the height is 4 times the base is 7. And here we put a 2 and draw a line. So we have a half times 4 times 7. Now, how do you calculate that? It's very simple. A half is actually how we write it in mathematics. Usually when you get to a higher grade, we will say the area equals height times base times a half. Now, times a half means divide by 2. Times a half means divide by 2. So here we can calculate 7 times 4 equals how much? Equals? What is 7 times 4? You can tell me.
Everyone.
28.
28. So you have 28 divided by 2. How much is 28 divided by 2?
14.
14. Excellent. So the area of this triangle on the right hand side is 14. Is equal to 14. Now, if you have a block, if you want to draw a block like this, you can draw a block like that around this triangle to calculate if it is exactly the same. But these measurements I gave you are just estimated measurements. Obviously didn't measure them properly. So let's look at an example of how an area of a triangle is calculated using the formula. So yeah, they tell us a half times height times the base. So if we look at the example number 1 here, to find the area of the triangle PSV. So we have the triangle PSV. Here, PSV. The area of PSV equals a half times 4 for the base, 5 for the height. So it's times 5 times 4. So 5 times 4 equals 20, divide by 2 equals 10 square centimeters. You see that the first example we did on the difference or relationship between the equal angular quadrilaterals and triangles, we work in units. But with the formula, we work in centimeters. Very important. If you don't write square centimeters, you only get half a point. Half a point. If you don't write it, you don't get full marks. Okay. Let's look at the second one. Do you guys also remember when we did the height of a triangle? Sometimes we had to draw the line of the base a little bit further so that we can get the 90-degree perpendicular line. So remember, we sometimes have to extend the base to give us the option of drawing a perpendicular line. So this one here is 4 centimeters, they tell us, and this one is 6. So we know 4 times 6 equals 24, divided by 2 equals 12 centimeters. 12 centimeters, 12 square centimeters would be the area of triangle ABC. Is there any questions so far? Please, if you have a question, please ask them now while we are busy doing them. Any questions?
No.
No questions? Okay. So let me help you with one example. Both of these pages, we're going to look at page 27 and page 29. Both of them, I have 6 questions. So we'll have to do them for homework. But because I'm very kind and I'm very thoughtful, I will do one example of each with you. So then you only have to do 10 and not 12. Ah, hey, isn't teacher very nice? Yes. Even giving you less homework than he should. Okay. Give me a number between 1 and 6. Give me one number between 1 and 6. Anyone? Any number through 1 to 6? Can anyone give me a number? One number, just one number from 1 to 6. Anyone? Give me a number. I must ask specifically. Okay. Okay, let's see. Who are we asking? Who are we asking? Grape. Hello, Grape. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you give me any number between 1 and 6?
Between 1 and 6.
Yes.
4.
4. Okay, thank you. So my example I will give you will be number 4. Okay, so let's look at number 4. How do we calculate the area when we have the quadrilateral? We first count the blocks. So on the side we have 1, 2, 3. And on the top row we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now that we have those two, we know we have to multiply them by 2, multiply together, divide by 2. What is 3 times 7?
21.
21 divided by 2. 21 divided by 2. Let's quickly have a look here in our long division. How do we give an answer? So here it goes in once. Is 2. We bring down the 1. It cannot. So we put the 0, put the decimal. We add a 0, we get 5. 5 times 2 equals 10 equals 0. So 21 divided by 2 equals 10.5. If you struggle, because these answers sometimes give you decimal answers, remember to do long division of and use them as a decimal. So 10.5 is the answer for number 4. Okay, that's our first example. You can write down the example. You don't have to write down all this information, but it's very beneficial. If you come back to look at it again, you can exactly see how to calculate it. So always show more calculations. Gives the teacher an idea if you understand what you are doing. And also when you come back, maybe want to look at it again before a test, you know exactly how you calculated it. Okay. Next one. We're going to look at another. Who else is going to give me a number between 1 and 6? Who's the next one to ask? Let's see. Let me ask. Yes, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a spider by its toe. If it cries, let it go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Ukik, hello Ukik, can you hear me?
Okay, can you hear?
Yes.
Can you give me a number between 1 and 6, please?
Three.
3. Okay, thank you. So number 3. Let me do the example for number 3. And then I'll give you one very interesting tip for number 5 as well. So now we have to use our formula. Very important, the older we get and the higher we go in grades in school, we also have to learn more formulas. Formulas are going to become something we have to study because there are too many of them to just remember. We have to study them. So it's half times height times base. This is how I want you to write your answers as well, to give all the information. Equals a half times the height, which is the the perpendicular line from the base to the apex, which is this one over here. Remember, the perpendicular line from the base to the apex is 3 times our base, which is going to be PR, because that's where our perpendicular line is, and that is 6 centimeters. So that will equal half times 18, which will equal 9 square centimeters. 9 square centimeters. Okay, so that is a very important formula, and this is also one of our last questions we're going to look at. Maybe on Friday we'll have a look again for the last time at triangles before we carry on with the next chapter, the next unit, because the last part is word problems, and that's also quite interesting. Okay, let's just do a quick check for number 5. This is an interesting one. Can anyone tell me what is the height of number 5?
6.
6. Why do you say 6 centimeters? Why don't we use the 7.5? Why do we use 6? Do you know? Your answer is correct. Your answer is correct. Just want to make sure if you understand why. Let me explain to you quickly. Let me explain quickly. The 7.5 is not our height. It is just part of the triangle. It's one of the adjacent sides from the base. So BA and CA are adjacent sides. We don't use the adjacent sides to calculate the base. The height. We use the 90-degree perpendicular line to the base. As you can see, this triangle was not good enough or not drawn properly enough, so we had to extend the base to make the base longer so that we can draw that perpendicular line. That's why we use the 6 as the height, because it's the line that's running perpendicular at a 90-degree angle to the triangle. And you can see all it did was it just made the triangle bigger. It didn't change the triangle. It just made it a little bit bigger. Okay, so those are your examples for calculating triangles. So you have 2 pages that we're going to do for homework. And you already got 2 answers from me. And for number 5, I gave you 2.5 answers. So that's excellent job by the teacher to help you a lot there. Well, we have a little bit more time. Just want to go through it once more, just to make sure for those that did not understand the first time, that they can try and understand and get used to what we should do. Okay. If you understand everything, you can also start doing page 27 and page 29. I will send in the line group as well what is required. So just to close off and just to make sure you understand, we have 2 types of ways of calculating the area of a triangle. Remember, we're working with the area now. The first one is the relationship between the triangles and equiangular quadrilaterals. Now, quadrilateral is 4-sided shape, usually a square or a rectangle. And the inside where we mark our triangle, we're going to look at that specific triangle to calculate the area we want. And if we look at the triangle on the inside, it is half of the total area of the quadrilateral, which is the total rectangle, VNSP. So how do we calculate? Okay, let me not write the half there. How do we calculate? We first count the blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops, then I write 5. We first calculate 6 and downwards 1, 2, 3, 4. So we go 4 times 6 equals 24 square units. We know we have to multiply by a half or divide by 2 to get to 12 square units. Okay, just to make 100% sure you understand. And on the other side, we have the formula, which is the half times the base, which is the line running from the apex perpendicular to the base. And perpendicular means it creates a 90-degree angle. So this one, in this example, is 4 times 7 equals 28 divided by 2 equals 14 square centimeters. I'm just writing a square centimeter like this just to save a little bit of time and space. So those are the two ways we calculate our area of a triangle. Is there any questions? Any questions from any of you? No questions. You guys are happy, you understand, you're excited about mathematics. Yes. I hope so. I hope so. Okay, so just to recheck, homework page 27, number 1 to 6. And where's my red marker? I will send it in a line group as well. Homework 1 to 6 for page 27, and we also have homework 1 to 6 for page 29. If you have completed, please write your nickname and your number on each page and send it to the line group so that we can mark it and give you a score. These ones, if you have any questions and you don't understand any of the questions, please, you can always contact me on the line group and ask me a question if you have any doubts or any uncertainties. Okay, are you guys ready to do all the homework? Yes, I hope so. So our time for our class is almost finished. We have one opportunity now to get revenge on the teacher and to beat him at a game of rock, paper, scissors. If you are interested, please make sure your cameras are turned on and that you have warmed up by showing all the signals a couple of times just to make sure you choose the correct one. Okay, so are you guys ready? Let's get ready, let's get ready. Who's playing? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see how many. 6. Here we go, here we go. On 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, bonus idea. Beat me. Oh, unlucky Aideen. Unlucky Wheeling. Unlucky Grape. Unlucky Jonah. We have 2 winners. Congratulations to Bonus and Idea today for beating the teacher. The rest of you will get an opportunity again on Friday. Maybe we should do some more practice, you know, so we make sure we choose the correct one. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Please do the homework and send it to us. And I'll see you guys again, I think, on Friday. So have a good day. Have fun. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.